We are raising money because we are making our first full-length album titled Resurrection in 2013.
King of your castle.
Raising money to make an album via Kickstarter as opposed to, say, a record deal is an interesting and exciting proposition. The record company is a business and they're asking themselves important questions that they need to ask. It's largely a calculated financial decision. Whereas Kickstarter is interesting because it's the musicians saying, we want to make great music, and the fans saying, yeah, we want to hear your music, and we know it takes money. So we're going to give that to you so that you can make the music that we want to hear. And so it's exciting because it's more pure, it's more direct. Resurrection will be a full-length album. What that means creatively and artistically is that there will be a strong thematic through line, both in terms of the musical themes and the lyrical themes. One of the central ideas is going down into the darkness and seeing what lights we can find. And I think for me, the title Resurrection is a metaphor for that. You know, going inside, taking an introspective inward journey and seeing what comes back out into the light.
Something or nothing. I would. Something or nothing.
The music will have all the same fundamental musical properties of Orissa music. You know, it'll have the odd meter, the polyrhythm, the lush, more classical harmonic language, large-scale dramatic movement. The temperament will be a little less angular and skating than our previous material. It'll be more rounded, more feminine, more beautiful. Interestingly, I think it makes it darker and much heavier. The creative team for Resurrection is Jason Gianni on drums, Patrick Deravaz, who will be recording and mixing engineer. Patrick will also be co-producing, and Tarek Ragab will be doing the album artwork. I met Jason because I was referred to him by Alex Skolnick of Testament. Alex was kind enough to listen to Omens and even suggest some people who he thought would be good for our lineup. And he gave me several names, and it was interesting that the only drummer who he referred me to was Jason.
How was that? Was that cool?
Some of the current projects I'm working on right now, I am a sub for the Rock of Ages show on Broadway. I sub for Mike Portnoy in the Neil Morris progressive rock band. And I'm a full-time instructor at the Drummers Collective in New York City.
I'm excited to work with Jason because, number one, he's a tremendously skilled and talented drummer. He really has the right temperament and understanding of the nature of Orissa and the music. He understands the large-scale form. He knows how to play the polyrhythm and odd meter.
The most exciting part about the Orissa material is the balance of complexity with musicality. The melodic content and the theoretical content behind the music making sense. And that balance, putting those two together, is something that you don't find often. And that's something when I first heard, I said, okay, this is something I'd like to be involved with.
More than that, I think he has the right artistic sense. Orissa is not a math problem. The rhythmic language and complexity really is just sort of a geometric symptom of our expression of the human spirit. I choose to work with Patrick because he's got the right perspective and a background of being able to work with diverse artists. He's not just a metal guy. He's worked with hip-hop guys like A Tribe Called Quest. He's worked with heavier rockers like the Henry Rollins Band. He's worked with one of my musical heroes, Michelle Indegiacello, who's one of the great R&B artists. You know, he's worked with classical guys like Philip Glass and jazzers like John Scofield. And so he's able to not be locked into one sound, which is really important for Orissa because it's such a syncretic mix of so many different styles.
I do like to work with a very wide range of people. And most of the, if not all the people that I worked with are really dedicated to what they do. So I'm really happy about that.
He's really going to be able to help us capture and emphasize and bring out even more than we ever have the large-scale movement.
He's just like, he's honest and he's into what he's doing. He has a vision and he wants to get it. And I'm happy to help with that.
Someone's at the gates.
I chose to work with Tark because he's a tremendously skilled and talented visual artist. Because he makes records, he really understands the importance of the visual artwork reflecting the sonic and aural components that we've created with the music. And so working together with his perspective, we're going to do great things to have those two worlds really sync up. We knew that we wanted to make a full-length album in 2013, and we knew that we needed to raise money to do it and that we wanted to do it via Kickstarter. I thought, wouldn't it be cool if instead of just asking for the fans to fund the new record, if we made these two songs and made a musical offering to the fans that said, this is what this team can do. If you help us out, we can make even more music at a larger scale that we can all enjoy for years to come. We're really excited to make our first full-length album, Resurrection. We'd like to thank you for taking the first step of this journey and watching this video. We hope that you'll take the next step and help us by funding our record. Thank you.